You guys see it?
Yep, can see it.
All right. Well, I think they kind of did the unexpected overnight. Bring the candles up. So, EH, and you guys can see this massive overnight rip. I think it was what, 300 points or something like that. I caught this with 2 MES. It was good, 240 points. I mean, it ripped. And then, of course, the news pulled back. And now the question is, have the bulls achieved anything based on the price action today, right? So I will see who wants to take a stab at it, right? So the dailies are here. Obviously, today's will be the same as this blue one. So just consider this weekly and daily for now, for the new week. So what was the level that bulls really needed to reclaim in order to kind of shift the auction completely? You guys remember from last night?
Previous week low
From
Well, we
or
talked
value area
about
low.
that.
Sorry.
Talked about that overnight long last night was not a bad idea, right? Looking to see if we could drive it all the way up. I think it was the right here BOC, and then obviously they had a gap. But what do you have? Even if you combine, do that, but that's pretty cool. So let me combine something, and then you guys tell me what do you have. So we'll just combine this with the previous one. So basically, you'll have a week plus 1 day, and then you'll have a massive profile here. What do you guys have here?
Single prints.
Okay, and then you would have probably distribution here, distribution here. You guys agree? Yeah, a tiny distribution sitting here. Does everybody follow what I'm trying to tell you so far? Does it make sense now? So you have the top distribution, you have the middle distribution where we have the least amount of volatility or the most. Is this the least amount or the most amount of volatility here?
That's the most right there. That middle one.
Why do you say that, Christian?
Because it's the biggest distribution, so they spent a lot of time there.
Well, it's the biggest distribution. They've explored the most price here, right? And it seems like they're somehow finding buyers. Once we dip below, we quickly reclaim it. So now if we go above it and lose it, that would be a pretty decent setup for a short, right? And that's something we'll definitely watch for tomorrow. In terms of, if you had to pick a level that you really want them to be above, right? And they close right at prior week value area low. What would you want to see happen, right? So if you guys remember, this profile here also had the single prints. We talked about this excess high or unfair high. Do you guys remember that? Like about 1875.
Can you explain that one a little more? Because I know they bounced off it pretty good today.
Yeah. So think about it. Today, this was, or let's say on Friday, this is where the sellers came in and they sold off in a period, right? Then they obviously opened above that Friday high and then they encroached it here. When they came in, where's the value? If you think about where's value here, well, value for this day is pretty much here. That's your main distribution, and then you have the bottom distribution, right? So now, you're watching to see if they're going to encroach here because that's where the came in aggressively now. Now you're watching to see if aggressive sellers are showing up here or they're going to defend it. And they defend it off that level, right? Not the best, I would say, low. It's, poor low. So if they do encroach 1875, what would you guys target?
POC and then the bottom of that distribution.
Yeah, you could target the POC, right? Ultimately, I would go for about this 55.90, right? Where you have this ledge and then ultimately the single prints, right? These 10 points might be a little drag, right? Where they do something like this and then a quick bounce. So I would definitely watch for that. But this would be kind of the IBL and this ledge would be a pretty good day off of Friday, right? If this is our IBL and we extended it lower and now we are rejecting it, well, they close inside Friday's IBL, so there's a pretty good chance we should be visiting 65.90 at some point. So I'll definitely watch this. Lose this unfair high day over day, or you could even go off the lows. Honestly, this is poor low right here, which is somewhere. Call it 15. This zone here, lose this 18.15. Really good chance you're going to go at least to 90, which is a good 25 points, right? You make decent money on that.
It might hit it here overnight.
Oh, is it dumping? Yeah, they're going to tap 1%. I mean, this candle here today, somebody obviously made decent money of it because right before it happened, I mean, there are some large orders coming in on ES, and then a few months later, you're running pretty wild. Look at this here. And then they picked up, and then boom. Only made a couple of $1 billion on that.
I think we can dump the Friday spike.
Say it again.
Friday's under 590. Do you think we could go to Friday spike base?
I think if you lose Friday, most likely you're going to this 80 and quarterly VPOC here, at 72 level. Is there a chance if you lose? I would treat this as a critical zone, right? If they lose this, right, then most likely they're going to explore this. There's not a lot of time spent in this area. So definitely, lose 77, pretty good chance you're going to go to the spike. I would say that's probably high odds if you lose this green zone. But they're gonna tap 90, and then you're gonna get buyers. This area right here. Be shocked if they come in perfectly to this 90. Bounce from there. Did anyone catch this in the morning? I mean, I got lucky. I only had 2 MES, but I was able to catch it, which was pretty good.
How did you? What was the setup you took?
Well, I left it
'Cause I know you
overnight
were-
last night. Before I went to bed, I was targeting that it was going to go here, but my long, I usually like to leave and I'm playing 2 MES, so give it a little bit more room. And I didn't even sell it here at this level. My sell level is pretty high. So I had to create a wider stop and some gains and didn't even hit. So I actually had to take profits on my own. It was just overnight,
I
what
see.
we talked about, right? It was here. I mean, I think, I forgot who was asking questions, maybe Cap or somebody. It was asking questions like, would you take this long? And RTH, I said I wouldn't take this long right here in between. And I said, well, overnight, probably not bad because if you get some crazy stuff, I didn't think, honestly, I didn't, there's no way I would have said this happens. I maybe would have targeted 6635 that they can lead up to here, but then they ran it quite a bit more. So that was just pure luck. It was a
I
decent
see.
setup to here, but I didn't obviously anticipate 230 points. If I did, would have taken 2 ES contracts or not. MES. Sometimes
Cool,
you
thank
get
you.
lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, because I put the I just kind of put where I would enter, and I put at the spike, the end of the spike at 523, and I let like 5 points go, or 8 points, but that was nowhere near enough. So you just had to like let it go, let it go home.
Yeah, if you had ES, that would have been a pretty deep, I guess, stop loss that you had. But on 2MES, I typically give it some serious points.
I see. Thank you.
Yeah, when on MES, like no stop loss.
Well, I mean, it takes a lot of points. I mean, it took 200 points to make $2,000,
Hmm.
145 points. So I mean, your stop loss can be 1/4 of that. Points is pretty wide. Yes, but that was pure luck. Recommend it, but I do like to play some of that lottery stuff day over day. Does the plan for tomorrow make sense? So far, if they're holding this, if they reclaim, let's say, previous week value area low, I expect them to have trouble around this level here. And if you look at this setup here, if you just looked at some fibs today, they really struggled, like right at the key levels, right, to reclaim today, and that value area high was in the area. And they basically sold off, and then they closed at the lows of the day. So it's a bearish neutral day, even though we had a gap. But as long as they reclaim this, let's say 35 level tomorrow, the week goes on more bullish, right? And for me, I would definitely watch what do we do right around this value area low. Like, can you reclaim this? Can you hold about this 18 so you don't encroach this value here or this distribution from Friday? First sign of weakness will be this. If they can't hold the green zone, expect a flush until we get another tweet or something happens, right? So it's pretty kingerish market, and this is how it was with his first term. If you guys traded around, I mean, it was driven based on news, but now it's like amplified. I mean, to run this many points overnight, it's pretty crazy. I don't think most people expected this, right? And then you see, as we opened, basically people started taking profits, and then it sold off a little bit. But let's see. As long as they're holding this zone, they're interested in trading. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go back up again up here to the green zone. If they lose this, we're expecting a little bit lower, right? Maybe even December 24th, previous all-time high, 6452 would be a good target, and then this zone here. But as of right now, they have a pretty good chance to reverse this, reclaim 66.35, and then you potentially run again to here, reclaim, you have the final green zone. And then if they're not able to, then most likely see a sell-off as soon as you lose this green level here. But everything is news driven, so be happy when you're making, $1,000 if you can make it, or whatever your amount is. I would say be happy with what you got. Because the same second it can reverse, and then you're basically in trouble. So greed's not the game here. Size down and enjoy it. Right? And this is not the most confident profile today. You have poor high, poor low. Obviously, we swept that.
Shorty, that previous week value area low, is that last week's or 2 weeks ago?
Now you're making me think I missed it. It played a pretty decent level today on it. Let's see. I thought it was last week.
That's TPO value area low then, right? Because volume profile value area low is like 50, 65, 80 or something.
Yeah,
it'd be much lower.
65.80.
Yeah, you guys are either on extended or on profile. I took it off here, but I guess I missed it by a few points. It'd be closer to 28. So, closer to 28. So this actually might not be a bad long overnight. And if you're playing MES, just give it 20 points or something from here. Where are we at 30? Oh, 6,600. That's actually not bad. You could play this with. If you're able to catch this at 90, you could put it right below this, and then see if we run it again. But this is a big spot right now where we are for overnight bounce. Pretty big node to go all the way up here to 27, so 27 points. I would use. See what I mean? Like, look at the value area high now. Unless this is okay. I'm sorry. I was looking at this one. Guess I was marking the wrong one the whole time. Let's see if I'm.
But you also have today's merge with it.
Yeah. This one comes down to 6604. Is that what you guys had on prior value low?
6602 for me. Or 03. But I'm also on 65 minutes.
I have it as 6637, the one you had it before.
Yeah, mine is at 6604.
I had the 36 too, but like Joe said earlier, I guess if you had that back adjustment on from the contract change.
Oh,
it's a
that's
good
what it
spot.
was. That's what it was. I think I had to be adjust so that way we didn't have the gaps. I was trading off of it. So that's what it was. It was the B adjust that we had. You don't have to trade with the adjustment. It just helps with the levels to stay in sync with what they were before. And it's just easier sometimes with the contracts. And as you get a little bit older and dyslexic, you will start switching this up.
Would you recommend doing the B adjust then?
It's up to you. I mean, your orders are not going to execute on ES continuous, right? So it'll be an ESM contract. So you can definitely makes it easier for charting, at least for me, and that's why they added this option for people, right? Because people get tired of charting and adjusting the charts and where did it close, where did it open. I just do it now on ES continuous. All your trades will now happen on ESM. All your trading will occur on this one. It's honestly up to you. I prefer this just maybe because I'm lazy to constantly rechart. But this makes it easier for my remembering the big levels because I try to tend to do that. I think it makes sense for me.
At the end of the day today, what made you take that short? What did you see that made you want to take that short?
On this one here.
Yeah.
So let me show you. 5 minutes. But somewhere around here. If you look, I mean, this was our weekly halfback where we had it right. We marked it at the evil 666. Remember, there was a lot of large orders, a lot of delta at that level. So today, when I watched it, right, we came here, we rejected it, we bounced, we dipped below it, and just basically what was before a support, now you're coming at for a resistance at a level that I know is pretty important from the weekly standpoint, right? That 50% discount is sitting right here.
Okay.
So you went below, you rejected just an SR flip, and you see how, I mean, it came in very close to this value was pretty much set at this point. Like towards the end of the day, this is not going to shift that much. And the day was telling you something today between how it opened and how it traded. Do you know what the initial balance was today? Does anyone? It was like 60 points today, guys. So 63 points today.
It looked really small on my chart because of that pre-market candle.
But take a look at where the IB50 was today. That here. That would be your initial balance, the half, right? You had a few confluence points, and I'm pretty sure if you were to draw your fibs here, what do you expect to be hitting here at this point? You're hitting kind of like 61.8. You're at the value area high, higher weekly halfback. It happens today that trading here, they created this ledge, so it wasn't. This one was pretty good support at one point, and then they gave you a really nice retest. I mean, this is what I call probably a good setup any time of the day to take it. So, but they did. And this is something I should pay attention to a lot more. So you get inside, you peak above, you did nothing here. Pay attention to volume. Nothing really here until it starts picking up, like right here between the two. Then they sell off. They put in equal lows compared to this one, and then look where they came back. Sorry for all the drawing, but this level right here, you consolidated, you came back, rejected, and then basically you had, I would say, multiple setups to take influences. But for me, on higher time frame, weekly halfback was there, and we talked about it briefly yesterday, I believe. And today, this is not the most confident day when you think about it. What type of day it was?
An extended typical day.
What makes it extended typical?
I would just say maybe not. It's not that extended, but the part on the lower part where it's outside the IB low. Like it's not that extended though. If anything, it could be a neutral day.
Open reject reverse.
That would be the auction type, right? Don't mix the auction opening type with the day type. The day, right? Remember, there's only 5 day types, right? So who had the control today? Is it buyers or
Oh.
sellers that had influence today?
Sellers did.
And then if I give you that we gapped up, does that change your?
Yeah, it kind of makes me think that sellers are in control still because bulls didn't continue. And then we closed below the IB.
Good. And inside Friday's range, you closed there, right? So this was your PDH. Today's Monday. You went really high about Friday, and came back and closed inside Friday's range. It's not the most bullish thing you want to do. So this would be, if it's a super wide range and it covers 85% of it, it's set during A and B period. That's the characteristics of what day?
Normal.
Fine.
Yeah, just normal day. Remember, normal day sets 85% of the range and it's set in that basically period, A and B. So if you take this range here, and this one was 88 points, then you take your IB, I guess. So 64 points. Is that close enough?
Yep.
I mean, I would say that's close enough, right? 75-ish, 74%. most of it's set, and then the first time you extended, right? And I think it was close to the Europe close. Yeah. So E started, right? And then it started framing down immediately from E period. But did they spend a lot of time below the IB?
No.
Not really, right? I don't think they, it doesn't make it or a trend there or extended typical. They immediately came back inside. Then you got dumped outside and closed right kind of below the IB. And that's the only thing that was not good. If they would have closed right in the middle, that probably would have been pretty good bullish setup for tomorrow. So I wouldn't be surprised if they set up some traps maybe lower first and see if they can kind of run it again, see if there's news coming out. But typically, when you have a wide balance like this, do you expect the trend day to occur?
Nope. Probably auction in between.
Yep. Typically, when you have a wider base like this, that's super massive, right? 64 points is, I would say, pretty wide for any type of standard. Usually, while it might seem like you have other time frame in control, are they in control other time frame when you have a wide IB?
Nope.
No, they're not in control. Because remember, long term is in control when?
Above fair value or out of range. Unfair value, high and low.
I think you said it first time. When you break the range, right?
You break out,
So
correct.
you get the breakout. And same how we treat A and B periods. We say go over the C's, right? If the C's break out, and let's say B had, did not encroach like 50% of it, like this looked like a pretty bullish day that they could set up. Do you understand why?
They're stacking over 50% of the last one.
I mean, between A and B, this looked pretty good, guys. This is looking pretty decent. Right at 50%, and it's like, oh snap. We might just continue, right? And then they came back here. And where was the sign for you? Like, let's say you're here. I'm just going to give you a clue about TPOs a little bit. Where's your sign for like, oh shit, bulls are in trouble?
When they lost E period, the bottom of it.
Okay. The bottom of it here, the bulls are in trouble.
Yeah. No.
I'd say
I say once
If
they
they
lost
had
the
failed,
50%.
Yep.
Once they lost 50% of this,
When D
Yeah.
period didn't make a higher high as
Well,
well.
broke-
I mean,
broke
and you
those
get back to probably 50% of C, you're probably good.
okay. So if you look here, right, the auction failed here pretty much, right? This was a failed auction. That's usually a sign of what? Some
price
exhaustion, right?
exhausted.
There's some exhaustion, right? They're struggling to bid a little bit higher. And then you had, C period came in, and then E period is pretty important in the market, 11:30 close. But the A high would be right here, right? Which is your orb high. And that happens to be also where the C period, if you have a little zone here, you're watching to see, can they crack below this? And if they do crack below this, you're targeting the bottom of this A period. But why this zone?
It was the initial, I guess, breakout.
It's where the A and B, where the aggression came in. I'm expecting that there's emotional buyers coming back here, and they're going to defend it. They defended it here, right? And they made higher highs. They trapped the shorts. So now, if you can crack below this period, what's happening? Because now deep is making higher high and higher low. Is that correct? D was making higher highs and higher lows.
Yep.
So the first sign of weakness is, you have a lower high where you're opening. So you have some access and no interest in trading here. And then you put in a lower low, and And then your confirmation is, do you crack below this? And then you pick up volume and you're like, oh yeah, you're interested in kind of selling this. All right, look at the candle, full body candle, pick up in volume, average on the day. And they absorb this guy right here. So whoever this guy is, he's selling or she's selling. They're taking off here. And then there was no ammo to defend here. There was no buyers to defend. And they came back again and
At what
retested.
point you will take the trade?
Say it again.
Like in this, at what exact point will you take the trade? Like when it is trying to come back after that?
Well,
use up?
I shorted here earlier on the day, but that was basically off of the access here. And once they went above this and lost it, I was shorting here. That was the one trade that I also took here. I shorted pretty much here. They went above, they lost it. I took it high of the day stop loss, and I drove some of this down. I closed it. Then I took another short, but there was opportunities also for long. Your first short was probably here. If you took this short here, let's say you took it on the break right here. I'll make that a little bit smaller. I'll just draw it. Like if you took this here, how would you guys play it? What would be your stop loss? You're taking the breakout or back in the value. What would you treat your stop loss at?
Probably just above E. Right there.
Just above E is probably the really safe bet play. So would anyone consider this a decent trade?
Yeah, that's pretty good to IB though. It's a lot of points.
I mean, this is pretty good. I would say 2.7, very close on a gap. Have to take a short and get 2.7. It's pretty good. So that was one way to do it. Was there any longs that we talked about? We talked about, I wrote that most likely they're going to tap IBL. That's when they did this, right? Somewhere around here. Then they will look down below the the only thing that I knew, and I brought it up to you guys again, when it's a wide balance, the odds are that you're not going to continue lower. Does everybody understand that? If my IB's here, and we said the IB is pretty wide, you went below it, and now you're trying to crack back inside, and you're not selling off where you're not putting in what? Well, they didn't put another lower low. They didn't break the structure here. So now what they're trying to do is change the character, right? And you had a pretty good setup. So as long as they cracked here and then they came back, could you have taken this long right here? Like let's say it goes here and you tap here, could you have taken this?
Yeah, I did.
Did you survive or you got stopped on this little scare here? I mean, it was 4 points.
Yeah, I survived.
Yeah.
I got out on the next couple candles later when it came back to the same level.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, so I didn't, I was aiming for a little bit higher than that, so I just took my gains and walked away, and that was the end.
Oh, this is nasty, right? I mean, there's no trader here that wouldn't do what you did, Cap. I mean, to say, yeah, I would have held through. When you see the whole day is going up and massive candles and volatility, I don't blame you for taking profits. And today, even if you scalped, you could be right probably 7 out of 10 times with some basic knowledge today, just on the way it was working, right, in terms of bouncing. But there's some opportunities like this long was pretty good there. Retests were good. So when even if you just don't even look at the candles throughout the day, you could really just set this up to be broken out and trade off of this. Just use these 30-minute candles, and it's boring. It's pretty boring to look at it, but once the C cracks, you're looking for lower prices. and the auction is changing. That means the value is not being what? Shifted higher, right? The price is not being accepted in the top of this distribution that they're setting up for, right? There was exhaustion of buyers. They tried to defend. They sliced them. That's when I wrote, most likely we're going to IBL, and I knew there was a big level, right? Prior recall here at low. So you have that. And then at wide IB, as soon as you reclaim this, there's a good chance you're going to run. And was there any point, where you could have taken if you just traded off of periods, like nothing else?
The break of H. Yeah.
Okay, you could have taken that on break of H, because that would mean that you're at this point putting in a higher high. You definitely have a higher low. So could have taken that off of this and drive it, right? And then if you took this, on break of H, probably right below here, you could have a stop loss. How would you know, like if you wanted to, let's say you don't know any of these levels, like is there any way you could have predicted this one right here?
I think very close to like maybe 50%.
It's very close to that. Let's say you only had what you have here between F and H. Could you predict this level here?
Yeah, you would expect sellers to defend it.
Yeah, but how would you know it's there, right? If you only had data from F to H, how would you find this level where they rejected?
Like a fib.
Yeah, I mean, one simple way is just, and where would you grab the fibs?
Top of F to the, I guess the bottom down there.
You will get something. So you have the 127 and 1618, which came pretty damn close. 3 points apart. So you could have used this, right? You could have used fibs between the highs and lows. And all you're doing, does everybody understand what you're doing when you're doing fibs here? How's
You're
it?
just getting the extension.
Yeah, so basically you're taking this level, whatever this is, to here, and you're saying times 1.27. And basically you get the points, and then you do the same for 1618. The same distance here times 1.618, and it'll give you the points, and then you add it from here and there, and basically you calculate this, right? So you can use these fibs, right? And I think they work pretty well, especially in volatile markets. They're pretty well respected because it gives you time and opportunity to run, right? And they're golden extensions for a reason. Typically, when you get to that golden good spot to take profit or reverse for support, go long. Does everybody understand how we're going to play it? Not the most bullish profile, not the most bullish close. So if they're still in 90, and let's say they don't reclaim this power day low here or unfair high from, I guess, Friday, that would be what? Bullish or bearish?
They don't reclaim it, it's bearish.
It'd be super bearish, right? Then you're watching for lower prices, and most likely we're going to hit this level here at 80.77 overnight. So probably not a bad idea, maybe just take one long from there and see what happens. Because this is not, if you see a poor high, you have a poor low, so maybe they sweep this first, reclaim and fix the poor high. Again, tweets come in at any point overnight, it seems like. Okay. I'll pay attention to, previous week while you're low, matches with the POC. First is, PDL, where are you in relationship to today's low and this unfair high from Friday? you reclaim this, then definitely look to see if you can drive this over that. Then you open up, right? Reclaiming today's IBL would be huge. They could definitely reverse it. But as of right now, it looks like we're going to be more interested in this area overnight. So if they do come here, I'll probably leave an order to MES again, long, and then just put it somewhere around here for stop loss.
Shorty, real quick, can you explain your Intel message in the chat or break? I guess.
So
If you can.
one of my friends is a CTO. I think it's I have 3 of them that are CTO. Well, this one's like $18 billion company, and he's been pretty right on about chips for a while because his company is also involved in it. And he's been so bearish on Intel that they're shit chips, and lately he's been like, man, they're really competing. They're doing a pretty good job. They released some chips, I believe, at the power reserve or saving like 30% of power on chips and electricity. And his company is very interested in seeing like all the Intel has to offer for a lot of their business soon. So there's a lot of, I guess, buzz going on with Intel and what they've been able to produce chips wise.
Gotcha. Appreciate it.
Yep. So I still have, full position equity. Intel. I don't plan on selling any equity. I just sell calls against it. But right now, I don't have anything but equity. I'm not selling anything at the moment. It's just been consolidating. But not a bad hold, man. I think it has a lot of potential.
Hey, Shorty, did you cut your UPS position or you're still in?
No, still in, man. UPS good. And it's probably gonna defend that 99, 97 area. It's not gonna go. I mean, there's a level, right, that we want. If they're to give us, I think it was 77, 72. I mean, this would be a gift. I mean, I hope they go all the way down. Because I think, our initial sell was 124. They came very close to it. But I think this long term, this has a lot of potential. And their dividends is pretty good so far. I don't mind holding this one. And if it comes to 72, I'll probably triple it.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Oh, Jack, you had anything down there? Oh, they pulled back, I think, around 11-ish recently.
Man. Let's see. Ooh.
Oh, you have a market already.
This is probably good entry. Oh, yeah, this is really good entry. Yeah, I'll probably be getting some Jack tomorrow. I don't know if Tom is on. Tom, are you on? I'll have to check with him, see if he can give us if there's any dark pools on this one.
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Can you see if there's any dark pools coming in on terminal or any?
Jack?
Yeah.
Yep, give me a sec.
Yeah, thanks. This is a really enticing level. I mean, I know we can get 17 from here, and that's hell of a return on Jack. And I think we got it last time somewhere around here. I don't know exactly where. I mean, I sold a lot of it here. But this is a pretty enticing level. I think this was a major level from. Oh yeah, this is huge.
It doesn't show anything, but maybe it's because it's after hours.
No.
I'll check tomorrow. I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, check tomorrow because Blackstone is supposed to be. I'll check. But Jack's supposed to be bought up by Blackstone. They're supposed to be getting 15% of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let me see if that executed.
So that means food quality is going to get even worse.
Yes.
Well, of course.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to make money. I'm not going to eat there, but oh,
Any reason why Jack is dumping? Because they spun out Del Taco, so they should have gone up, but instead they started tanking right after.
yeah, I'm just trying to find when that order was coming in for. There's an order by Blackstone that they're supposed to take 15% of ownership. BlackRock, I'm sorry.
Yeah, BlackRock. Okay, that makes
Yeah,
yeah.
BlackRock. Did they execute the trade? Do you know? Do you see them as owners?
Let me see. Last filing shows them in it's old. September 2005. They're selling. They sold 1.4 million shares.
They're supposed to be getting back into it. So I'm just wondering if this is not the level, where in the world are they going to get in then?
Yeah.
And
They
this is
still own 7% though.
okay, so they got a board.
Well, but if they were gonna get 15, they had 15 in September because they sold half of their position.
Wonder what they acquired it originally at. Probably wasn't at these levels, because they haven't been at this level in some time.
Let's see.
They haven't been here since 2004. Basically, 22 years no gains if you held through this.
Yeah, I can see a mobile. I'll check tomorrow.
I'll check tomorrow. I mean, this is a really interesting level just for a quick bounce. Honestly, nothing crazy. Just 17 and get the hell out. But some change in there. There's a lot of volume on this.
I just hit 90 on ES.
Okay.
91. Yeah.
You can see if this H period ideally can reclaim this level here. If it reclaims this level, probably not a bad long off of this. This would mean a pretty good access. Do you guys understand why I want them to reclaim it? So they have 11 minutes, right, to reclaim this. And if they do, that's good because this H become access, right? And then you have, not really skinny belly, but it looks like if you really have a high chance to visit this poor high. But let's see if they're done. If they crack this level, most likely we're going to hit 80 here. This is a good zone for a long. Very good. Here. All right. Well, guys, see you guys tomorrow. Let's hope we don't get any overnight tweets.
Thanks for the time.
See you guys.
Thank you, Shorty.
Thank you.
Hey, Shorty.